thief to carry the shit around. Ah, damn it. Ugh. I gotta take a rest. Ugh. Whew. Man, waiting dungeons is a lot busier these days. Hello everyone, welcome back. And today's treasure I got is Dragon's Crown for the PS3 and Vita, but obviously I got the PS3 version now. It is a nice return to many old style games of the arcade days. Did you like Streets of Rage? Did you like those Dungeon Dragon games that Sega did? Or the X-Men arcade game? Or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game? Or the Simpsons arcade? We can just go forever on that. Now, why don't they have an Adventure Time arcade game? Now, that could make, like, the same kind of humor as the Simpsons arcade. Somebody get on that. Dragon's Crown is all that and more. It's more reminiscent of the Dungeons and Dragons arcade games that Sega did. And those are extremely rare physically these days. Recently, though, they came available digitally for a pretty cheap price. This is kind of all that with Diablo elements of getting gear. It doesn't feature online, offline. If you play offline, you can get NPCs. The storyline isn't incredibly long. Now, obviously, to examine physically, you always saw the cover there, the back there. Now, the art does look pretty good, but we do need to talk about one thing about the art. And it is, of course, the stuff about the Amazon and the sorceress. Now, sexualization of characters is nothing new when it comes to anything. Music, movies, video games, nothing new though. Now, in the artist's defense, and he does the outfit, not like the physical design, but the outfits they wear are reminiscent of Western design. But the thing is, his defense of why he designed all the characters the way they are is because he said he wanted to make over-exaggerated forms of them, which is why, like, the dwarf is a giant wall of muscles that shouldn't be capable of moving, and that the knight is the knight's just about as deformed as the Amazon. His chest is huge, his legs and his head are small as hell. The elf and the wizard are considered the only normal-looking characters, and they, again, still fit a weird stereotype of their designs. But why the really bizarre body shape of most of the cast? Like I said, the artist said he wanted to over-exaggerate it. So, admittedly, you could say that, but I kind of understand what he's saying, but I really don't understand what he was really thinking with the Amazon and the dwarf. Like, the sorceress, yeah, if you never saw a big-breasted woman in a video game, then, oh my god, okay. But the Amazon, I don't know, like, the Amazon's entire portions are just, like, inhuman, literally, like, so I don't even know what to say there. Nicely, you probably did notice, the book is actually in color. Very nice, of course. Being a very recent game, many game booklets have been black and white lately. NPCs, aside from a few female ones, they don't actually feature as horrifying designs. Though there are a few in some of the dungeons, like the mermaid, they are also extremely sexualized, so if that bothers you, then, well, obviously, that's there. So, aside from that, the art design is awesome when it comes to the monsters, the levels, and that. It is really well done, and that's because it's from a familiar company that some people might recognize. If I can quickly locate the titles, there's that one, and oh, come on, you can't be that hard to find. You have to be somewhere here, Odin's Field. Or you over here. Man, I tell you, I got way too much shit these days. Yeah, Owensfield. Princess Crown, which never came to America, was a original. I think it was a PS1 title, if I remember correctly. And Odinsphere, which is the spiritual sequel of it, both by Vanilla Whale, which did all the art and everything. And it features many similar nice aesthetics. And I kind of actually can use those in no kind of defense, because I don't remember like such weird structure of their characters like that. I mean, so considering the past work, I can kind of say he kind of defends himself some there, but I believe there was one other game Vanilla Whale also did, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So, if you like those titles, it's a lot of that work, except a few of the characters are really exaggerated. But again, the gameplay isn't like those two. The gameplay is of arcade style, up to 4 people using all the skills and shit. Now, unlike a lot of old arcade games where there wasn't huge variety between the characters, like, let's admit, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, yes, there is a little few little nit things that are different about them, but in the end, they're similar enough that only really, really, really deep people are going to actually realize the differences. There are huge, blown out differences between all the characters. They can level up, and they have their own personal skill tree and a common skill tree that all the classes have access to. So they have unique skills that are just solely theirs. The wizard and sorcerer's basic attacks can look similar, but it's their skills that define them apart. The archer is actually a really difficult class to play as, and they all have different mechanics. I've only played the archer a little, I've played a lot of the wizard, and the sorceress just a pinch. I haven't tried the Amazon, the dwarf, or the knight. There's also a thief that's with you, no matter what class you pick. This thief follows you, and his job is, you got like a mutual agreement with him to basically whatever you don't pilfer, he'll take, and he'll unlock shit for you and split treasure and stuff with you. So when you find treasure, if you leave it there too long, he will pilfer it. So you're in direct competition getting stolen treasures from him, and he'll unlock stuff because you can unlock nothing. This brings up a very odd mechanic that I'm sure was probably brought into the game because of the Vita's touchscreen. On the PS3, you have to use the white analog stick. It allows a cursor to appear on the screen, and you can find little shiny things and pick treasure out of the background. You also use it to command the thief of what you want unlocked, and later on, a later mechanic where you can access wounds in the background to activate special magic spells or effects or story-related events that are required to progress. It's a little odd on the PS3. I would assume it's much because the touchscreen on the Vita is on the back, so I'm assuming you would just simply move your finger around and press down or something. I would assume is how it works on the Vita, and I could see that being so more quick and that. It kind of bogs down the PS3 version a little. But it's not that it doesn't have rewards, though. Treasure in that increases your score, which your score is directly how you get experience. At the end of a stage, you'll score a certain percentage of your score based on special torch-related buffs. There's special equipment that can have buffs and things, and later on where you can do dungeons in a straight row, that gives you multipliers in that. You get a certain percentage of your score changed into experience that goes to your levels. You get equipment from chests and stuff. Like I said, it's very Diablo-like. You can get shitloads of treasure that you need to identify. There's repairing to be done also. It's, like Diablo or Dark Souls and that, where you're going to have to repair your gear or it's going to break and you're going to basically not have the effects or the ability strength of whatever item you're using. You can switch between a few things in your inventory. Like wizards, it's useful to have a few different staffs and being capable of switch between them. It's a little odd. You use the plus pad to do that, and to use potions and that, but it works. It works. Um, the online has received a little criticism, not because it doesn't work, but because of how, like, see, basically, until like the midpoint of the story, online is blocked. You can't interact with the online, and some people have bitched like, why can't I just go online? And people have obviously argued that, like, say, Demon Souls Forced Level 1-1, it's set up to be kind of like a tutorial to learn everything. I would be willing to argue maybe it's just a little tad too long. I understand it's trying to spread out the different elements like the wounds and stuff out so it doesn't like cram it all at you at one time. But I can understand once you start developing multiple characters, it's a little, because each character has to go through the midpoint of the story to access the online, so it's kind of bothersome in a way. Because I mean, like, Demon Souls 1-1's not that freaking long. You have to go through multiple dungeons to get to the midpoint of the story in Dragon's Crown. Once you get to that point, you can activate online in a few different ways, invite people, have random people connect to you during or before you start a dungeon and that. So, there's multiple ways to access online. No, there was no loot stealing or anything. When you get to all the chests will provide loot for everyone, so when you get to the end of the stage, you can see all your loot and stuff just like it works in single player, so there's no like, oh, I'm the first one to the chest I got, ha! Which, besides, even then, only the host has his thief. There ain't, like, multiple of the thieves following each player, so hehehe. What else to go in about? The story, you kind of just start venturing and you just get involved in the kingdom's problems, and it involves the Dragon Crown, which supposedly controls dragons, and I'll leave it at that, because it's not an incredibly long storyline, so we'll leave it at that. You'll have to find the mysteries of the Dragon Crown from there. It's really good fun, to be honest. But my strongest thing to you, another thing that came up, is the price. And here's what I have to say to you, basically, about it. If you have no plans to ever replay it, or replay it with friends or that, you just want to go from the beginning to the end one time, and then shelf it on your shelf, or sell it, or whatever you want to do, or give it to a friend, you probably want to wait for the price to drop a little, maybe, because it's not a huge game. I haven't beaten it, but I would say if you just rush through it really fast, it's probably just a 15-hour game. I've been taking my time. I've redone some dungeons and that. So, I would probably say you could probably dash through the whole thing in like 15 hours, probably. And that's, you know, I mean, it's not $59, but it's $49, so I think the Vita is $10 more cheaper, ain't it? I'm not 100% sure on that. You can actually switch saves between the Vita and the PS3 version, so if you happen to get both versions, I think it uses the cloud, and you can just re-download it, your characters, so you can kind of cross-platform your characters, but you can't do it actually online, so. At least as far as I understand, they don't connect online. I could be wrong on that, but, anything else to go about? No, I think that covers a good bit, really. It's a really evolving game. If you like the Diablo elements of getting loot, this game has that. If you loved old arcade games and love replaying them, this has that. It has online. It has full player. It's on the Vita and the PS3, so you got two choices. You've got a handheld and a console. I think it offers great variety, but if you only want to play through it one time and throw it on the shelf, you probably want to wait for it to go down a little of that. For everyone else, I say it's a jolly good time for you and your arcade fun. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm definitely highly considering doing a Let's Play of it. Overall, though, I'd rather play with people I know than straight out strangers, but that's something I'm trying to see if I can do. If not, then, well, maybe I'll just do it with straight out strangers. Anyway, that's my thoughts of Dragon Crown. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to leave a comment. And I will see you all next time on Dragon's Crown 3. Wait, there hasn't even been a 2 yet.